everybody doing? L.A. Kendrick with another tale from the ball of Would You Dare? All right, you guys, I'm not going to be on too long tonight. Just want to come in here and drop a few stories. And get you guys caught up on some of the things haven't done these in a while. Just get you guys caught up as to what I'm doing. So you know how we do here, we talk about everything spooky, extraterrestrial, supernatural, extra dimensional, demonic, serial killers, witches, ghosts, Bigfoot. Let's talk about everything spooky. If you got anything that you want to share, let us know. And actually got the computer actually doing something that I needed to do finally. I actually got a computer that can do what I needed to do without a lot of hassle, a lot of hitches. And again, the ambience in the background to set everything up just moves. So, basically anything that you may be seeing that looks out of place is because it just moved. So that being said, how are you guys doing? Oh yeah. Breakthrough, benefits of a bully. It's finally out. Finally got it doing what it's doing. And we got a lot of new stuff coming at the beginning of the year. You guys, I can't wait. I'm really super excited. Got some great people helping out, family helping me out with some of the costs. So doing some amazing things and going to continue doing great things. Like I said, you guys, I'm just really glad that you guys are sticking and staying with me. But you're here. I'm not gonna be on too long because 3:00 comes really super early, super quick. So, hey, how you doing, Pink Unicorn? Good to see you in the house. So, how am I sounding, you guys? Am I sounding pretty clear? Is it loud, clear? What's going on? Is it sounding good? Just let me know if you can hear me so I can make the adjustment. All right. Great. You can hear me. Again, there's a lot of stuff that's been going on. I had somebody talking to me about drones. I want to touch on a serial killer that I actually spoke to, a real serial killer. When I was in college, working on my psychology, one of my classes, when you're in college, you got to go through all those classes, English, whatever. And I happened to have a psychology class, and they wanted us to do a paper. The instructor wanted us to do a paper on something. So yeah, I went in the job that I was doing in the avenue that it provided me allowed me to talk to a serial killer. And basically, this is just going to be a tale, and you can't have the kids in the room because it's pretty graphic what he shared with me. And this was around 99, 2000, 2001. I can't really remember because at the time I was working on 2 degrees. I was working on surgical tech and working on machine CNC programming. So I had 2 things that I was working on. So it's kind of hard to remember. So I was driving to Nashville and then from Kentucky to Nashville every day and then having to work. So yeah, so there's some pretty gruesome stuff. So make sure the kids are not in the room because this is not kid friendly. And my channel is 18 and up anyway. So you guys are in here, whoever's in here, you guys hit that like button for me. I really appreciate that, right? Hit the like button. It helps the algorithm and it also helps pay for some of this stuff. Because most of this stuff comes out of my pocket. And again, I'm really fortunate to have some people step up and help me out to get these things out. Because I'm telling you, you guys are going, you can't. Hey, We got some incredible stuff coming. So this ain't going to be too good. So the only thing about this laptop I can see is not crystal clear. Thanks for the thumbs up. It's not crystal clear, like I would think it would be. That's one thing about Macs, the MacBook Air. Hey, I tell you what, you can't beat the clarity of their screen and their the quality. But it's, they're really expensive anyway. But this is my Mac over here, and I definitely jumped on this because I want to make sure that I can talk to you guys and share stories and share things that are happening with you guys. Okay. So let me see, where do I want to start? Okay, let me start with the drones. All right, so this is a story that's come out, and I know you guys can't see, but I want you guys to be able to hear. And like I say, the party don't start till you walk in, and now that you're here, let's begin.
Jess needs to brief the public on right now is, what do they know where these drones are from? Are they authorized or unauthorized? Right? Are they licensed or unlicensed? Where are they from? And making sure we do everything humanly possible and that they are taking every step, working in collaboration with the state police to prevent any drone from going to places where they shouldn't be, right? Which is a huge issue, right? You're talking about Picatinny Arsenal. Apparently, the Army reported there were 11 sightings. Right, over reservoirs that we've seen sightings, right? And which could be a threat, of course, to public safety. What do we know where they are? How do we stop them from being in airports and other places?
Okay. Again, that's one part, right? And then, because nobody seems to know what these drones are exactly, right? So this is fair use, YouTube, but this was something that happened. Actually, let me let them talk. Okay. And let this lady cook.
Senators are expressing urgent concern over mysterious drone sightings in the Northeast. They are demanding federal agencies brief them on this growing issue. ABC's Ariel Reshef explains.
Night after night for weeks, this menacing sight in the skies above the Northeast. But this morning, the White House, FBI, and Homeland Security downplaying any potential threat to public safety or national security.
Upon review of available imagery, it appears that many of the reported sightings are actually manned aircraft that are being operated lawfully.
The Biden administration saying it has no evidence that these aircraft were sent by a foreign adversary. But that hasn't quelled concerns from some New Jersey officials.
I'm incredulous about that. That is ridiculous. I would invite Mr. Kirby to Mine Hill. Come on out, and you can count with me all night.
That frustration echoed by members of Congress on both sides of the aisle.
They should be shot down if necessary. The lack of information is absolutely unacceptable.
In a strongly worded letter to the FBI, DHS, and FAA, senators from New York and New Jersey expressing urgent concern. Drone experts suggest the concern may not be one for national security, but rather for privacy.
I question the rights of someone to fly over populated areas with cameras trained on the people below them. Am I worried in the sense of national security? Based on what I've heard, the answer is no.
More questions than answers this morning.
All right. So we have these drones flying all over the place. Not sure what they are. Some of them, of course, could be, the thing about it is some of them could be some of these things can actually be ours. Testing the people, seeing what society will do, seeing how the population will react to things in the sky. They say some of these drones are really big, like the size of cars, is what some of them are, reporting to be. And then you have other ones that are small. But then you got people saying they're seeing them come across the ocean. They don't see them take off from anything or land anywhere. So that's kind of strange. And why don't we have any answers as to what these things could possibly be? Why don't we have answers? Kind of crazy. I think that would be, if I'm the people, I'm a little nervous too, because you've been having all these disclosure moments where people are talking about aliens, UFOs, things that are popping off in the sky. People can't really identify with what's going on. They can't really figure out what's causing it and what's doing it and what's making it happen. But I did see an article earlier. I did earlier see an article where the people were, two guys got arrested. I think one guy was in his 40s and one was in either his late 20s or early 30s. And they got arrested. They could be brought up on different charges. I believe that's what I saw. I saw an article that spoke about that. But again, how do you not know what these things are? We're supposed to be the most sophisticated country on the planet as far as technology, and we can find everything else we want to find. We can't find out what these things are possibly are. We can't. I know it's kind of weird to me. Really, really strange to me. But hey, you guys tell me what you think they could possibly be. All right. Okay. So now we're gonna go to the spooky stuff, right? So I really wish that some of the people that I work with would pop in or would actually do a live with me. They don't have to show their face, but I would love for them to get in here and share with you guys what we've seen and what we've heard. Because where I work at, the cleaning crew usually sees all of the stuff. But if you happen to work overnight, right, with your security, because I don't think the cleaning crew might be there. They're early or what have you. And some of the floors in some of these buildings are vacant, so they're wide open. And what I guess it gets spooky. Now, I had a video and I showed it a while back of orbs. I've been in removed from the sky instantly. You might have you might have a strong point, Pink Unicorn. What I think is it's a combination of a lot of things. There could actually be extraterrestrial, right? And then, because some of them don't have the flashing lights that would notify you, FDA regulations. Is it FDA? I think it's FAA. I'm probably butchering it, right? So whatever the airlines and the whatever they use as far as making sure that you're using the right codes and flying in the right airspace, they're saying that some of the lights are our lights and the flashing signals, and then some of them are they just don't know what they are because they're not flashing right. But some of them are extremely huge. So I don't know if I don't know how many drones. What I'm understanding, I've never seen drones that big. Never seen drones that big. And I don't think, from what they're telling me, the drones, and from what I'm studying and understanding, drones aren't as big as these things are. We don't have them that big. So it's kind of weird. Because if you look at some of the stuff that's happened overseas and all this disclosure and things along those lines, they've been exposing a lot of stuff, man. And maybe this is the government's way of trying to, okay, let's try this. Say some of these drones, say hypothetically they're alien, right? From another planet, another dimension, another time shift, whatever you want to call it, right? And it's scaring the people to death. So then maybe the US will throw up their drones to try and quell the fears, especially up here in New Jersey. So maybe that could be something that's going on. Maybe that could be what's going on. Because, the government always wants to try to get in front of something. And you definitely don't want to admit to the rest of the world that you don't have control of your skies. Because you should know what these things are. You should know. It shouldn't be a question of what this, what that. And some of them are flying over really, really secure airspaces. military institutions, and some other things from what I understand. So it's strange. It's strange all the way around. So yeah, I'm just thinking off the top of my head. That's why it was kind of, you caught me off guard with that one. Good one though. It was a good one. But back to the spooky stuff. Well, this kind of spooky too though. Back to the spooky stuff. I told you guys, I've been at work and I have literally, I think the first thing that happened to me that was weird was I was getting the towels and stuff ready for, training sessions, right? So when, people get through, they can go shower and they got towels and they've got everything that they need, right? And I ain't even kidding you. Something behind me said, it either said, hey, what's up? Or what are you doing? And I turned around, I just started laughing and I kept walking because again, I'm not gonna say I'm used to seeing stuff like this, but I've seen stuff that's weird, big chunk of my life, right? A lot of times, of course, you don't want to talk about everything that you're seeing because most people don't think that you're crazy. So, then I was talking to my sister and I went into the bathroom and then the stalls are all lined up, right? So, some of these stalls, some of the toilets are where if you get up or you get away from in front of them, they automatically flush. So the first couple of times, the one time it done it, I couldn't account for it because the doors were all shut, so I didn't break a beam. And then, the beam that would make it flush. So one time it did because you got to check the restrooms and stuff when you first come in. And when I went in, the women's restroom, there was just this weird, it was a weird vibe in there, but I didn't think much of it. And then when I was walking out, the toilet flushed. Thought that was kind of weird because there was nothing for me to break. The door was shut to the restroom. So we're talking like 4:30 in the morning. Or 5:30, 4:30 in the morning, right? 5 a.m., 4:30 in the morning. And I'm thinking, okay, all right, that's cool. So I'm walking away, right? And trying to wrap my head around it. So I spoke with somebody else and they said, well, from time to time, they're on a timer. I said, okay, cool, on the time. All right. So I had gone back and I was cleaning stuff down. And I made a quick video and I posted the video too, as a matter of fact. And the vent, it's bracketed in, right? It's bolted in. So there's a filter here in the big vent. And I'm not even kidding, I'm wiping down, again, getting ready for the morning. And the bolt flies out, the brace come flying out, and then the filter comes flying out. And I just looked as each piece fell to the ground, and I just laughed. I was like, okay. So again, I'm not real triggered by stuff. But the one thing got me was when I was washing, I was washing my hands. And it was, like I said, again, early in the morning because nobody's hardly even in the buildings. And I'm in there and got through using the restroom, the urinal, right? Walk away from the urinal, it flushed. Again, all the other urinals, doors are shut. And it flushed. This is in the men's restroom. I looked to my right. I said, okay, all right. Didn't think much of that. Then as I was walking again, it flushed again. The other one flushed on the far end. That kind of caught me a little bit off guard. I was like, okay, all right, okay. I can get one, but not the other. Considering how many things that they say are happening in this particular building. And then that's what caught me off guard. That's what kind of made me pause for a minute. And that was weird. That was just straight up weird for me. So again, didn't think much of it. And I ran that by one of the young ladies in the morning that she was saying that she had heard some things and she had seen some things happen and it scared her sometimes. But these are different, and this is different females that are talking about this too. Alexis was supposed to do an interview about when she had the little girl scream at her. An out of body, just down the hallway just screaming at her. And she was the only one on the floor and, only one working. And I said it scared her to death. And she was like really messed up behind it. Okay. But then this is the kicker. This is one that was pretty interesting to me. We were at work and I was talking to one of the female workers, and we'll talk after I get everything cleaned up. So I'll come out and talk to her before anybody comes in. And she said she had ran it by one of her supervisors and asked him, had he had anything weird happen to him? Now check this out. He says that he was up on the floor and he says yes. And that I'm not making it up because some things had happened to him. So he's up on the 25th floor, I think. I think she said 25th floor. So something said to him, hey, what are you doing? Or how are you? Or something. I can't remember, but I remember what it told him. He said, leave me be. I'm just trying to do my job. I don't want no trouble. Leave me be. Check this out, y'all. He said, the spirit or whatever it was up in there said, knife you, kill you. Now, I haven't had it threaten me or anything like that. I think the closest thing that I heard that would have really shook me up was the screaming of that little girl's voice. That would have scared me. I can't even play. That would have scared me. Then, like I said, I think that's got to be tough because it was a threat on your life. So that's pretty intense. And I think the other thing, one of the cleaning ladies that told me that she was the one that shared with me the orbs that were flying around. And again, I got that video. If you go to my page, you'll see the orbs also. I think I mentioned orbs or something like that, workplace orbs. And you could see them flying around. But she said she was sitting on the toilet, handling business or whatever. Said the door opened up, and I shared this story one of the last Would You Dare lives that we did. And she said that the door opened up. She said she saw a dark shadow walk in front of the door, and it came back, and the eyes were glowing yellow or red. I'm not remembering what color she said it was. She said, but it just started looking between the crack into the doorway, checking her out. She said, okay, leave me alone. I'm just, I'm in here. I'm not bothering anybody. So the thing backed up, went to the right, came back, looked at her again, and then she said it vanished. She said you could see it walk through the wall. I don't know. Look, the reason that I'm not doubting them is because I've had my own little weird stuff happening to me in there. Now, nothing has happened since I had to make it clear that I walk with the universal creator, and I haven't had the issue since. So I can't really even say, which is pretty intense. And when you walk in and the escalators and things are not running, it is, it is Pink Unicorn. It really is. It's when you don't turn on the escalators in the morning, you can hear a pin drop. It's like eerie quiet. Like I talk to some of the security, we all talk all the time. It's eerie quiet. So there that is. And as a matter of fact, Would You Dare, you guys understand something? I've done a lot of Would You Dare lives or just regular shows and didn't do anything with them, right? But we're going back, and Would You Dare is about to be put into book format. And I'm telling you, we're doing some amazing storytelling, man. I'm talking about, if you think you've seen good storytelling on the spooky horror stuff, you ain't seen nothing yet. Wait till I show you what I'm doing and what I have. It's going to blow you guys right out of the water. We've got animation coming from some of the comic books that we've done. Like I said, I try to make sure I touch something for everybody. Adult sci-fi, comic books, kids sci-fi, and horror for the adults, of course. And again, we obviously like horror, right? Because if we didn't, it wouldn't be it wouldn't be a $1 billion franchise, multi-billion dollar franchise. So we love in something. But I promise you, I will not let you down with these stories. We're gonna try to get one out, maybe one every 3 months. And I'm still gonna be doing the Benefits of a Bully series for the kids. Make sure that they have something, because we got to take care of the kids, man. We got to give them something to gravitate towards. Because remember, I want to be able to leave my legacy behind, like the Thundercats, Transformers, you know, how they influenced me. G.I. Joe, First Generation, Voltron, Thunder the Barbarian. We had some really good stuff back in the day. We don't really have as much of that now, but I would love to bring some of that stuff back. So I'm telling you, I can't promise you I can promise you one thing: I will not let you down. Original storytelling at its finest, from all angles. It's just, and again, some people are testing. I've let a few people read like the first page or two of some of the work that we're doing, blowing them out of the water. Blowing them completely out of the water. Telling you, doing some incredible stuff. So let me get into one of the major things that we're supposed to be talking about tonight, because those are big things. We covered the drones. We covered the workplace hauntings. Knife you, kill you. And I just shared with you guys the stories about what's new coming up. Hey, KK, what's up? What's up? What's up? How you doing? Oh, just share it with them. Hit that like button, y'all. Come in here. Just share it with the. Oh yeah. There's, like I said, there's a few people that have read the work, and they're digging it, man. They're like, man, this is real suspense. It's tense. Because I'm gonna with Would You Dare? You guys, we talk about everything. What did you miss? Just got back from what's up? You missed the spooky stuff that happened at the job with the ghost that apparently ran up on one of the guys at work, and it said, knife you, kill you. After he said, leave me alone, let me go to work. So something out of body voice came out of nowhere and told him that. If you remember, I called you and I was telling you about the toilet flushing. If you remember, early that morning, I was like, hey man, this, it was doing some weird stuff. And there's always some weird stuff happening where I work. So we talked about the drones, that nobody can seem to understand what's going on. Those drones that are flying over New Jersey, all over the place, and everybody's got everybody all spooked and scared. We were just sharing some philosophies and thoughts about what that could possibly be. Let me see. And let me see, what else did we share? And just basically the new stuff that's coming up. So what I'm ready to do now, I'm ready to talk about the serial killer that I interviewed when I was in college and getting my first associate's degree. It's for psychology. So, yeah, that's all you missed. But I'm gonna try, like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and jump on this real quick, because in that way, I'm not up too late. Because like I say, man, 3 o'clock come real quick. So, I sent the memo out for everybody to trim and work Friday 13 and 16 minutes. And only me and the toilet just flushed on its own. I was like, okay. Are you at work with the treadmill? Do y'all are y'all treadmills set to a timer? Or like, they flush on their own? Like if you get up, they flush on their own. After you walk away, does it flush on its own where you don't have to flush it? Because that's what we have at where I work. And it's good to see, because you don't get your hands all into the mess and once you wash your hands, you ain't got to worry about hitting that lever. So, okay. That could be what it is, because they'll say, because again, when it happened to me, when I called you when we were talking, it was the first one, I get it, right? Because that could be set on a timer or whatever, right? And I stopped and I looked to my right, but when I was walking out and they did it again, that's when I was like, okay. But it came from the other one. So there's three. There's 1, 2, 3. Came from the first one on the far left, and then the one on the far right did it, and both doors were shut. But I made sure when I go in, there's nobody in there. You always got to check things out, especially gyms. Make sure there's nobody sleeping in there, or somebody's injured or laying on the floor, dead or hurt or anything like that. But let me get into this serial killer situation. Okay, now this was me talking to you guys you can look him up for yourself. And I'm just now seeing this particular article, right? So I'm just seeing this article. And this was the April of 2002. Defendant given life in prison, pleads guilty to murder. So again, if you got kids, get them out of the room, because this is not for children. This is what he shared with me. And it's pretty gruesome. All right. So I'm gonna give you a few minutes, you guys get the kids out the room or whatever. Because again, serial killers, they work on a whole different platform. And this is a cautionary tale. This is a cautionary tale. When I tell you, look out, be mindful, I'm not just saying that for the heck of it, because there's always somebody's always watching you, right? So kids out of the room, okay, let's get to it. Okay. After several delays because of his mental illness, a defendant agreed to a plea bargain for his role in 2 1996 murder cases and has been sentenced to life in prison. Enos Burden, 34, of Curdsville, entered an alpha plea Wednesday in Christian Circuit Court to murder and first-degree robbery in September 1st, 1996, of Scott Phillips, 25, of Franklin. And alpha plea means the defendant maintains his innocence, but concedes there's sufficient evidence for conviction. Burden's plea also recognizes his mental condition. He basically pled guilty under the Alford plea, but mentally ill, Commonwealth Attorney Rick Bowling explained. Under the terms of the agreement, Burden also pled guilty to murder for the 1996 slaying of Tanya Kathleen Saville, Saville, 15, of West Virginia. Burden had also been charged with rape in the Saville case. However, that felony charge was dismissed because of lack of evidence, according to Bowling. After the entire plea, Burden waived his right to a separate sentencing hearing and was ordered to serve a life sentence. Under Kentucky law, he will be eligible for parole after serving 12 years. Burden has been incarcerated since his arrest in late 1996. Doctors in early 2001 ruled Burden incompetent to accept a plea after several orders for his psychiatric examinations have been filed in court. Authorities identified Burden as the alleged triggerman in Phillips' death. State road workers found Phillips' body on September 6, 1996, near Fort Campbell Boulevard exit on Interstate. Investigators concluded that the victim was shot several times in the early morning hours, 5 days early on his way home from a Riverboat casino in Metropolis 3. Burton was declared incompetent to stand trial for 1998 by Judge Pat Higgins, who presided in Phillips' murder case prior to his retirement the following year. In the other case, a road crew found Saville's body on November 21st, 1996, along the former Penny Route Parkway, now the Edward T. Bredeth Parkway in North Christian County. Okay. Now, this is the first article that I've seen, because I didn't know he had this many articles. This is the thing. Okay. So I interviewed this guy. right? His bond was set at like $1 million, right? And like I said, I wanted to interview somebody, for to get a solid grade and just to get into the mind of some of these people, just to see, I don't know, And I remember going in. He's a small dude, looked like Charles Manson. I'm not even kidding. He looks like Charles Manson. If I can pull up a picture, I will pull it up. But you're not gonna be able to see him too clear. But you can Google it yourself, Enos Burton. And he looks like Charles Manson. I think he has a dot on his forehead. I think he had a dot on his forehead. I'm not sure. But he came and sat in the box, and we talked. He sat on one side of the table, I sat on the other side of the table. And I'm pretty, like I said, I'm not gonna say what you won't do, but most of the time, I'm not gonna be front. Most of the time, serial killers, people like that, they're predatory. If they're facing you one-on-one, guess what they ain't gonna too quick do? If they can see you coming, they can perceive you as a threat, they might do this one. They ain't trying it. They're just not. They're not trying it. Unless they have some kind of advantage. So I didn't even worry about that. I'm thinking, yeah, there's gonna be some bad stuff that happen to him. But nonetheless, we're talking, and he was real calm, but he would laugh, and then he would smile, and then he would get sad. Laugh, smile, get sad, right? So I'm asking him questions about, what goes through his mind. This was after he had been, he had had his time. Like I said, it was around 2001, 2002 when I talked to him. And I asked him, why would you do something like what you were accused of? Because I really didn't know what he had done. I know he had harmed some people and or killed some people. And he had it was like him, and as you can see, there was two other people, a man and a woman. And I said, okay, what did you do? Why'd you do it? And he said for like drugs, drug money, the thrill of it, what have you. And I thought, and I asked him, I said, well, what about the lives of the person that you took, or a person that you took? He told me then, he said, it wasn't just one person that I killed more than one person. And I'm being honest, I remember him telling me 7, but he's trying to work on a deal at the time with them to lead the authorities to different bodies that they had buried. And a lot of these bodies were buried along like fence lines, which was strange to me. And he said he shot some people, he stabbed some people, and you see here where it says he raped some people, raped a female and murdered her. And I remember him smiling really big, and then he just got depressed. Almost like he was having remorse. I don't think he was having remorse. I think if anything, if he was remorseful, it's because he got caught. Because like I said, those drugs are a powerful thing. But the person that he did the most gruesome thing to, that he told me that he did with his bare hands. This is what he told me. And I don't, he told me that he him and his friends had been stalking this one female. They've been watching her habits, watching her movements, and watching how she's doing whatever, right? And I said, well, what did you do? And he said, we stalked her and we caught her. And he drove her out to a field. He raped her. The other people were on the lookout. And then what he told me then was it was just weird. It was just weird. Like he said he grabbed some barbed wire, wrapped it around her neck, and strangled her. And he said he watched the life leave her body. Said eyes went dim. I'm just looking at him thinking, yeah, you need to fry. That's all I kept thinking. Not a drop of fear in me. I was more, my mind was like, how can a person do this to another person? Again, he looked sad, then he got back happy, then he looked sad again. And I didn't have much time to talk to him. I think I had like maybe 30, 40 minutes, 45 minutes where we talked. I'm trying to take notes and remembering everything that's being said. And there was a deputy standing outside, while we were discussing and having a conversation. And I'm thinking, yeah, you ain't got to do too much because I'm gonna beat him to death. And if he jump, I'm gonna beat him to death in here. But so I don't understand when it comes to a serial killer. You know how it's one of those things where you're not a killer. You can have killer and murderous thoughts. You're never that person or that thing until you act on it. So it's never going to, eventually, if you keep having those thoughts, you may practice on animals, cats, dogs, birds, or whatever, but eventually it's not going to be enough. You're going to want a human target. So, like I said, get messed up on drugs really bad. And then him and the other two people that he was accomplice with, because I think the lady is doing 20 years. And it wasn't enough. So what he did was they would track people down, befriend them, actually give them a ride, and they would kill them. No reason, just for the thrill of the kill. When it comes to these serial killers, if you look at a lot of them, it's something, a lot of times something happened with the family, the mom or the dad or something like that happened where they were mistreated and they were abused or what have you, or just got some chemical imbalances or whatnot. But he told me that that's what they were. And it's basically it's almost like Marilyn Manson, what they did to, I can't remember her name. Not Marilyn Manson, my bad. Not Marilyn Manson. Charles Manson. What was it? Sharon Tate. I think it's Sharon Tate. I think her name was Sharon Tate. And what they did to her was just incredibly insane. And even though he had somebody do it for him, he did it himself, this person. And to be so messed up that you stalk somebody, you drug them, and then you drag them off, and then you rape and murder them, and you do it with barbed wire fence, with barbed wire. That's some evil stuff. That's evil. And again, like I said, I've talked and I've dealt with people from all walks of life. I've talked to people from CEOs to serial killers to the worst kinds of people that you can think about, you can imagine. And it goes with it sometimes. There's some crazy stuff out here in the world. That's why I always tell people, be mindful and be careful of who you're dealing with. And especially ladies, you really got to be careful because there's some crazy stuff out here. Like I said, again, I try to tell my girl all the time, I make sure she practices at the gun range. We go to the gun range and I'm like not having it. I'm seeing people leave the chat. I mean, they knew the title says what we're going to talk about. And I mean, tell you what we're talking about, but like I say, people are jumping out, and I guess that's fine but you know what you're here for when you come to Would You Dare. It ain't always energy. Sometimes you got to talk about the spooky, crazy stuff. Everything ain't always walking through a wall. Some things are walking right there, delivering your mail, delivering your UPS packages, your FedEx packages. Somebody working right next to you at your job, making your food at a restaurant that you frequent, or just watching you from afar to see what your habits are. If you got protection, if you're mindful, if you're watching, if you're up, because you got to keep your head on the swivel when you're stepping outside, because again, you don't know who is trying to harm you. And you can see society is not getting a whole lot better when it comes to certain things. Like, I'm not trying to be a downer, but when it comes to society, you got to really take caution and protect yourself by any means necessary, period. It's just the way that is. So, Pink Unicorn, you still in here? Because I see one person in here left. So, KK, who's still in here? Because I see one person. Okay. But yeah, there's the thing of, not sad, but there's a dude that I remember reading an article a while back, And there is a dude, and I think he's one of the victims, either husband, boyfriends, brother, somebody. But he specifically said, if I get a chance, you better, it went something along the lines of, you better, whatever time, you better hope you die in jail, because if you ever get out, there's a man or a monster waiting on you when you come out. And I will avenge the loss of my loved one. You took somebody very important and very special from me, and I'll be waiting on you when you come out. That was and it's still right there. You go, like I said, if you Google Enos Burden, it's spelled just like it sounds just like it's spelled. So somebody's on the outside waiting on him when he get out. And I can't say I blame him. I mean, you hurt somebody I love or I care about, man, I'm gonna go Equalizer, John Wick on you. It just, may as well get a cell ready for me too, because there's no logic behind it. And again, that's why I say we talk about everything on Would You Dare, because again, I travel to some of these places. I travel to these places, the spooky and haunted stuff, the extraterrestrial places, the Bigfoot hotspots, the haunted spots, and I've talked to the serial killers. So I've dealt with because they thought it was a serial killer at one point. And it turned out, of course, they found him, and that's how they listed him in the report when they booked him in. So if he don't die behind them bars, there's somebody waiting on him. And I can't say I blame him, because I don't think anybody deserves to die like that. Strangled with barbed wire, and just, you stalked him, you watched him, you mapped it out, you planned it. That's why I always say, like I say again, now he shot the guy, to death. He didn't, but the other guy that was with him shot the guy to death. And that's crazy. But you see how they did the guy. They shot him to death. With the woman, they made that's personal. Stabbing somebody, choking them out, that with barbed wire rope, that's personal. So, he has to face whoever that is waiting on him on the outside when he gets out. And he was frail. There's even an interview with him. He's real frail now too. He was kind of frail then, but he's real frail now. Because like I said, it can be the most timid looking person ever or the most intense looking person ever. Regardless, you have to protect yourself at all times. And that's why I always talk to my sisters and my girl, and I want them to be aware and mindful of what's going on around them. Period. And as far as what's going on where I work, I truly believe there's an Indian burial ground, right? So look at, like I said, this Would You Dare is it's an intense one, because there's no telling what happened to those indigenous people that lost their lives and lost their land. And I think it is a gruesome story. Like I say, I'm not intimidated by stuff like that, because I think if I always look at it, if it's my time, it's my time. But I'm gonna try to take you with me and inflict as much pain as I can possibly inflict upon you. If you put me in a position to do something to have to defend myself, I'm not a violent person. That's not what I'm saying. But just the thought that this cat was, I just thought it was just crazy. And that's why I always tell my girl to give me a call, text me where she leave, text me when she get there, because I want to know, I want a timestamp so I can get to you. What you got, what you have on, if I didn't see you. I want to know. I want to be able to come to you, get to you as quick as I can. If you need me, I want to be there for that person. You know, that's my job. That's my role as a man. That's my job. But you got to make sure you protect your loved ones, man. But y'all got to help protect as well. And I think that's what it was. She didn't have nobody, or evil. Yeah, very much evil. Because I'm thinking that he knew. Okay, so either she I don't know what state she was in, but he told me they like burying the bodies of the people that they killed along fence lines. And he said he did 7. And let me see. Some in the country in Hopkinsville, but he said it's along the fence line. He's going to take when they, and I wonder if that's what happened. But he said he's going to take them to find the bodies to lessen the sentence, because there's some unsolved murders that he was attached to. Yeah, there's some evil people out here, man. You see the evil when you're out there driving. Like I said again, you look at your coworker. You don't know what that is. I'm not saying be paranoid, but I am kind of saying be paranoid, but not paranoid to where you can't function. Just saying keep your eye, be mindful, keep your eye, man. Keep your eye out, head on the swivel. But he gonna face justice one or two ways. He's either gonna have a slow, painful death here and then transition to have to talk to the maker, or he gonna have to meet whoever that was and it's right there on the internet. He got to meet whoever that was, and they're gonna put it on him, and then they're gonna transition to the next life. Now he got to answer. Well, I don't think if you're a serial killer, you're that kind of evil. I don't think there's much the universal creator has to say to you. You're only gonna talk to the other dude, and you need to burn for that. But again, I mean, like I say again, travel, man. I've traveled all over the place, traveled all over the world. Not all over the world, but big part of this hemisphere. Been all over. And I'm telling you, man, there's some beautiful places, but you always got to watch where you're at. The girl he stalked and killed, did he know her and she turned him down, or he just wanted to kill and she just happened to get picked? Like I said, I'm not sure exactly. They don't really have to have a reason. Remember, his MO, and if you look at the report, and like I said, when I talked to him, he didn't have a particular reason why he did it. It's just the thrill of a kill. Serial killers move like that. Something triggers them. They want to hurt society. They want to harm society, right? So basically, that's what I'm saying. She wasn't paying attention, obviously, to her surroundings. Because he said they walked up to her and she was walking somewhere, and then he either chloroform her, and then they drug her off. Jumped out of the car and they drove her off. And that's when he did what he did to her. I'm trying to understand, you walking, you should clearly be paying attention to what's going on with you. You should have a knife, a taser, pepper spray, a stick, something to defend yourself. She had been picked, but remember, he killed 7 other people. They're only talking about 2 here, but he told me 7. I sat there and talked to him. He told me 7. I can't make this up. He said 7. So it's a shame. One of the girls that's in here, she's 15. So in here they got a guy and a girl. The girl's 15. He raped and killed and murdered her. And the guy, they shot him to death. And again, when it comes to serial killers, right? It's I think everything is personal with them. Everything is personal with them because most of the time they like to from what I'm understanding, they like to, because I did some research before I went in and talked to them about serial killers. What they like to do is they like to use blunt objects, sharp knives, sharp objects on you because it's personal. They like to see pain. They like to see the fear. They get off on that. I think it was kind of a confession because I would see him a lot. He was on the maximum security walk. I see him a lot. He would say, because that's where all the killers and bad folk was at. And again, I always had. I'm not saying I'm the baddest man on the planet because it's not what I'm saying. There's always somebody badder. But I never had that mentality of fear when I was around them, because if you ever show fear, that's when you're going to have a hard time as well. But you always have to be paying attention to what's going on around you. Because again, there's always, just think of it this way, there's always somebody watching you. Always. They either want to get with you or get with you. And you got to be able to identify the danger. You got to be able to pay attention, but you always have to have something. You should always be protecting yourself. Deep-rooted from childhood, a traumatic they went through in their life, abuse, bully, school, alcohol, sexual, etc. It can be all of the above. With serial killers, if you look at the MO, if you go back and look at every serial killer, one of them has something like that in their life. And that's when they say they explode on society. I have seen very few people that had everything. Ted Bundy's a weird one, because if I'm not mistaken, I don't think Ted Bundy had any issues. He just wanted to kill people. Pretty women, college age women. Yeah, so like I say, ladies, y'all keep your heads on the swivel, man, because like I say, somebody loves you. And if you don't love yourself, somebody loves you. Somebody wants to see you safe. Somebody wants to see you okay. And they should, and you should always have that mindset. Again, always carry something on you to defend yourself. Period. Let this be one of those teaching moments, because I know she never saw it coming. Don't walk right next to the wall when you're going around a corner. Step wide so that you can give yourself a chance to get around the corner, so you don't, because if you're walking too close to the corner, right, a lot of women do this, and this is nothing personal. It is what it is, right? If you see, say this is the side you're going to, but there's something, you can't see this side, but you're walking like this, right? You're not supposed to walk this close because bam, I got you. You're supposed to walk like this. You see that ledge, you see that curve, you step wide, because bam, I can just jump out right like this. I may scare you, but you can run away. But if you're walking this close, got you. You're not going to have time to react. Especially if I got a knife or something that's going to harm you. So y'all make sure that you, that's some self-defense stuff that we were taught and we were trained. So you make sure that you're using that. Listen to the dudes in your life, because they're going to, I never sit with my back to the door. I'm going to react quicker than most people are going to react, because I'm looking for stuff. I'm looking for body language, attitude. I'm looking. It's rough out here, man. Choose carefully, and this be one of those life lessons, man. But get off of the gloomy. And like I say, you guys, I'm glad you guys Yeah, you can, hey, what's up, vet? You can walk in the middle of the street if possible. That too. Just always be paying attention to what's going on around you. Pepper spray, like I say, pepper spray, knife, taser, Second Amendment. I don't care what you got to do. Defend yourself at all costs. Because again, what he did to her, had he seen her with pepper spray or a taser or a knife, or even thought she had that gun, trust me, she wouldn't have been a victim that he would have picked on, because they're predatory. Serial killers are predatory. They don't just come at you. They don't come at you with the position that you're gonna fight. They come at you because, look, I see too many people. This is what I see a lot of people with their head down. Cell phone, not paying attention. Just not paying attention to what's going on around them whatsoever. You see them trying to drive and their cell phone, right? So these are the victims that they're looking for. You're a soft target. And I know women hate to hear it, but they consider you soft when they're attacking you. They consider you a soft target. They try to see if there's a man in your life, there's a man involved with you. Who's in your orbit? Do men frequently come by? Brothers, sisters, whoever. They really are. This is what they do. This is what I was taught when I was in law enforcement, military. This is what you get. This is what happens. So what he did to that was 2002. I wonder if he got out. But no matter what, that dude said he waiting on him. He gonna make him pay. You could trust me. You could see the chill in his statement. It's on the internet right now. You can see the chill in it. He didn't say his name. He said, you took somebody special from me, and I aim to make you pay, send you to hell, something. And I was like, yeah, that sound about like somebody that sound like you hurt somebody that's deeply hurt. So you took somebody special from me. Because again, I don't know if it was all these victims, these are just 2 that I'm seeing here, but I'm telling you, he told me 7. I mean, I got an A on my psychology class, but for that class, but for that particular interview, and I wasn't scared or moved, or I was more disappointed in the fact that how can you be so cruel to somebody? That was my thing. Cause see, those spirits are never gonna rest, man. And nobody deserves to go out like that. You're getting assaulted because somebody stalked you and they watched your patterns. They didn't see you with any kind of defense mechanisms on you, so they just say, you know what, I got you. Boom. Whenever I step out, I got that thing on me. You get one warning. You coming to do me some harm, you get one warning. Better to be judged by, better to be judged by 12 than carried by 6? Hey, and all you probably gonna get is a light sentence? Nah, man, you trying to meet your maker that day. If I got anything to do, if you're trying to take my life, you're trying to meet your maker that day. It is what that is. But I wonder if he got out. I'm gonna do some research to see if he got out. Because again, he's from Hopkinsville, Kentucky. Well, he's from Curdsville, but he was stalking his victims in Hopkinsville, Christian County. Small town. Not small, but But again, you guys, like I said, we got Would You Dare, which is what we're doing right now. We got some incredible stories, editors. We're going to have these books coming out at the beginning of the year. Straight horror, pure horror. Just incredible storytelling. The benefits of a bully rape war. It's out. It's a t-shirt. It's out right now. Finally, it's ready. It's out for you guys for your consumption. It's ready to do its thing. And I can't thank my brothers enough for, pitching in and helping out, because I can get it out quicker. I was going to get it out, but I can get it out quicker with them. And I can't thank them enough. Got animation coming from the comic books, a little series coming up. We got a lot of stuff that I'm trying to do at the beginning of the year. You guys make sure you stick and stay like you've always done and support the work. And when you come in, you guys hit that like, hit that thumbs up button, because again, it helps the algorithm and that helps draw people to the channel. So again, when you come in and you see the work that we're going to be doing, you're going to be like, okay, this dude is on it. He's on it, because that's why I'm always busy. And if I look tired, that's why I'm tired, because 3 o'clock come real early and I'm always up trying to make sure that things are going proper, so that, again, I want to leave a legacy behind that the young folk can say, man, he inspired me. That's what I wanted to say, that I inspired somebody. And that's what I'm working for. It's what I'm working towards. So been on an hour and 6 minutes. I know some people are late to the party. You can check out the playback and see what we were talking about, because we talk about everything from the drones and nobody can figure out what they are. We went back over the books and what's coming from the new year. Talk about the haunting at where I work at, and talk about the serial killer, which was supposed to be the topic, right? And if I can, what I'm trying to do, I'm really trying to get some of the people that I work with to do a live with me, but then they don't have to show their face, and that's what I keep telling you. You got to show your face. Just hey, share what you saw, share what you're going through. But with that being said, all right, this has been L.A. Kendrick with another tale from the vault of Would You Dare? All right. So remember, check your closets. Oh yeah. Great stories. Hey, thank you, Pink Unicorn. Thank you, Vet KK, for showing up. Appreciate y'all. But let me close this thing out. So, y'all know how we do? Y'all know how we end it? Every time. So right now, right? Check your closets. Check your dark homes. Check all the dark recesses of your home. And if you happen to work late at night or into the wee hours of the morning, make sure you check under your car, inside of your car. Check around your car. Because you never know who or what's lurking in the dark, waiting to make you a story. And this has been L.A. Kendrick with another tale from the vault of Would You Dare? And until next time, you guys be safe and fill in the rest.